Hi, I'm Dave Wurzel, and you're watching PHTV4 Spotlight. Today's Spotlight is on the fall play coming to Shepard High School in Palos Heights, which is taking place in, I believe, the first week in November. Is that correct? And I'm going to turn, with me, we have the director of the play, Emma Lizio, on my left, and on my right, Ella Carell, did I say that right? Who's a cast member, and I'm going to give them both a chance to respond. But first, Emma, do you want to tell us what play is Shepard doing and when it runs?
Absolutely. So this year our fall play is The Great Gatsby, originally written by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and the shows are November 3rd, 4th, and 5th at 6:30 p.m.
So this is kind of a personal interest, but I do want to ask, is how do you choose plays, and specifically, how did you choose Gatsby in this case?
Well, I've always been a big fan of The Great Gatsby. I love the storyline, I love the message and the idea of chasing your whole life after something and working, giving everything you've got just to get this one thing. So I love the story of Jay Gatsby. And this year, we were fortunate enough to have all of the right kids to play the right parts. And so it just it was the perfect fit.
All right, and then maybe that's a good pivot to, so Ella, you have, you're not Gatsby, but you have probably the other central role in this story because of your influence or how you present it. You want to talk about who are you playing, and then do you want to talk a little bit about what it was like to try and play or interpret that character?
Most definitely. So I play Nick Carraway. He is the narrator of the whole show. So I pretty much tell the whole story of Gatsby's life and what's going on at the time. It was definitely a very interesting role to play. It was new. It's now a gender fluid role for me to play. And it was really fun kind of figuring out how as a character, he tells the story and is also part of the story. And so I think it was really fun to kind of toy on the line of, talking to the audience and then being back in the show.
Right. And then maybe just to elaborate a little bit on that. So obviously the Nick Carraway it's a male character being played by a female now, but it still works in this play. We talked about that earlier. Do you want to talk about that challenge a little bit?
Most definitely. So I have a love interest in the show, and it was definitely interesting to see our love grow together, because usually it would be a male and a female, but right now it's a female and a female. So it was definitely very cool to watch how we changed the character from presumably a male into a more gender fluid, and how it grew from not really being just one gender.
Thank you. And I think that's kind of an interesting analysis for that play, because it still works. The story is still the story. Gatsby is still Gatsby, so that it can happen like that, and it's still very successful. Coach, how's the rehearsal going so far? Because I know the countdown is running. You've got days left here.
Yeah, absolutely. These last 2 weeks, they're so important for all of the different elements coming together, right? So we've got the cast in there really trying to add those last finishing touches onto their characters, while crew has been so hard at work putting all the finishing touches on the set, and we're adding lights and sound, and we're getting all the mics. So again, it's all just kind of starting to come together in these last final rehearsals. So it's been a really, really fun time watching it all, like I said, come together.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the challenges, or maybe Ella, you want to speak to this too, the challenges in putting on Gatsby? It's a short book, but it's a very misleading description of the story, right? There are big events in the story. There's a big setting potential, a lot of different settings in it. Ella, do you want to talk about that a little bit? And then, Coach, I'll come back to you on that.
Most definitely. So it was very cool because I didn't really know the story of Gatsby before I really read the play, and I tried out for the show. And it was definitely a very misleading name, like you said. It's a very good love story, and I think it shows a lot about the American dream and how it's not always what people presume it to be. And I think it was really cool to see all of the characters and how they interact with each other, and just how the story unfolds, and how at the end, the ending is the end, and how it's a very it kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. If I were still teaching English, I think I would invite Ella back to my classroom to talk about Gatsby for us. That was a very good breakdown of it. What about some of the staging challenges with this?
Yeah, so I think it's the perfect balance, honestly, the stage adaptation of the movie and the book, right? Because the book is filled with all of this rhetoric and just, F. Scott Fitzgerald is brilliant in how he writes this and portrays this story. And then the movie, you've got all of those magical elements, so to say, so it can really come to life. And so it's, again, the perfect balance of we've got all of the fun little, the stage adaptations, and everything is kind of on wheels, right, which is representing the cyclic nature of this American dream and the illusion of the American dream. So it's all very, like I said, fluid and cyclic in that sense, right? But it's still like, it's live, it's happening on stage, so the rhetoric is still in there with a lot of Ella's lines, actually, and then still getting some of those little magic tidbits that you'll have to just watch when you come see it.
I say that's a pretty good, teaser for the thing, because you've got the movie is spectacular in its own way and very visual, and yet you've captured classically, no, this is F. Scott Fitzgerald. We've got incredible language here and the way the story is told, especially through Nick's character. Let's shift away from the play for a second. I'm going to come back to Ella. Do you do any other club sports or activities at Shepard?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I'm actually in our show choir. We put up our shows, or we compete our shows in early February and March and a little bit of January. I'm also a part of NHS, and I'm just in a bunch of little miscellaneous clubs. I'm a part of the speech team. I'm part of German club. I believe that's it.
What about what we see in the spring musical?
Oh, yes. I love the spring musical. We're about to actually figure out what it is very soon, so I'm very excited.
All right, good luck when that rolls in. And then I know you're a junior, so it's off a little bit. Are you thinking after high school at all? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm actually very interested in meteorology, so I would love to become a weather woman on TV or just, predict the weather. I've always loved the weather. And so I just recently started looking at colleges, but I don't really have a favorite quite yet.
Okay, you got a little time to figure that out. You definitely have the presence for that ambition. Good luck. It's exciting. Final question for both of you, okay, and this is theater-oriented. Coach, I'm going to put to you first. You get the phone call. They want to pull you out of the classroom. They want to put you to work. They need you to play a role. If you could play any role, musical or drama, theater, play, regular play, what would you want to play?
Honestly, anything Shakespeare. I would love to dive into that world, but specifically Twelfth Night. It is one of my favorite plays in the whole world.
And so which one in Twelfth Night? Which character?
Probably Olivia.
Okay, it is a great, yeah. No, it's a fun role. She's a great character. Ella, how about you?
Most definitely. So one of my favorite musicals is Legally Blonde, and the lead of Legally Blonde, her name is Elle Woods, and I love Elle Woods and everything Elle Woods stands for. So I think if I got the phone call to be Elle Woods, I would drop everything and just run.
Okay, and then maybe it's the same answer, different answer. Favorite play or musical?
I'll go musical on this one. I love Wicked. Okay. Guilty pleasure.
All right, it's a very fun, beautiful story too. Well, not a beautiful story, but beautiful in its way, in the telling of it. And Ella, how about you?
Most definitely. So, like I said, I love Legally Blonde, but also another one of my favorites is Hadestown.
Okay, Hadestown, another great one, and not too long ago in Chicago, also good. All right, Coach, Emma, and Ella, thank you both for being here, and good luck. It sounds like a wonderful production coming up. Okay. I'm Dave Worzel, and you've been watching Spotlight. Spotlight's been on the fall play at Allen B. Shepard High School, The Great Gatsby.